Okay, so we just beat Doom: The Dark Ages. Again, thank you guys for tuning in for that. This game was pretty good. For the 13-hour run that it took us to complete this fully, I think that Doom: The Dark Ages, while it is a great game, it is probably the weakest of the new Doom games that have been coming out in the last couple of years. If anything, like from best to worst, it goes Doom Eternal, Doom 2016, and then Doom: The Dark Ages coming in third. But it coming in third doesn't mean it's a bad game, right? Think of it like how people loved Resident Evil 3 now, right? Like the original one. And for years, a lot of people kind of met on it a little bit, but then they really just started to enjoy it a lot. That's kind of what this is. Doom: The Dark Ages does a lot of things right, and it kind of lacks in a lot of other places. I mean, its story was kind of meh. I mean, I don't really think people are popping in a Doom game to play its story or anything, but I do feel that the way that this game was handled, its story, I don't know, I guess they put it in there for some reason, but it just kind of felt disconnected for a lot of things. The characters, other than the Doomslayer himself, didn't really seem that interesting at all, except for like the villains, of course, because villains are always great. And I guess like moving into the gameplay stuff, a lot of people have complained about the gameplay of this, and I think the gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. People said they didn't like the shield that much I've seen online, and I'm like, I don't know why. It's a nice mechanic. Because what you guys gotta understand is every Doom game is different, right? Like it evolves, but still keeps a lot of what you love about Doom. And I think that, id Software and Bethesda deserve, thanks and praise for that, because making a game 3 times in a row and it not really feeling stale really worked. And the shield mechanic was great. All the upgrades you get, you literally, like I said during the earlier streams, you literally become like Captain America if he was a friggin' psychopath. Just whipping that shield around and everything, using it to parry. Apparently people didn't like the parry system in this, and I'm thinking to myself, it was fine. It's easy. Playing it on the easiest difficulty was pretty damn easy too. When you really look at it, it's a good game in that aspect, and a good mechanic to have. Yeah, the double jump's gone, which sucks, but think about it. Like, this is a game that's set technically before Doom Eternal and shit like that. So it makes sense why it's not there. And yeah, the Doomslayer does move a little bit slower, and the enemies are a little bit faster, but honestly, it does work. I really just kind of am, like, in love with its gameplay, because the weapons, oh my god, the weapons are great in this game. I mean, for most of the game, I was just mainly using, the super shotgun, because iconic, right? But, what was it, the Ravager, or whatever, the one that you put the skull in? That weapon was just so much fun to use and to cheese in the game when you get the bigger upgrades for it. The weapons that you get for, once I got the mace, and then once I got the club, I never used the fist outside the beginning of the game. I feel that a lot of the enemies that you come across in this, the guns worked specifically for certain enemies and everything. And then even when you get like overpowered weapons, yeah, you still got to use other ones. So, rocket launcher is pretty cool. The plasma weapons weren't really weren't really for me, but they did come in handy during those fights with guys who had shields. So that worked to bring them down. And yeah, like, you could just kind of customize these weapons really good. And I do feel though that that weapon wheel, I don't really like how that felt. I felt that like it was too slow when you were switching weapons. If it makes sense. Like, I felt like that weapon switching in a game like this needs to be fast, and it just wasn't there. But again, it doesn't really hurt the game in any way, shape, or form in that regard. But let's see what else we got to talk about that's really good. Oh my god, the freaking landscape of this game, right? Like the levels at the beginning and throughout I don't think there was a bad level throughout this whole game. Especially towards those later levels that we saw, like the underwater levels that we had, where like the Cthulhu monster was, and like how freaky that felt under there. And then you got like straight into hell itself, like all these portals opening up into hell. It was great. Like the design of that was amazing, right? It was absolutely amazing, and I loved it for that. I guess like also movement with the Doomslayer was felt like a tank. Like you literally feel like the Juggernaut. You just pick up speed and you just plow through everything. And while again, yeah, he didn't have the double jump, that landing that he does when he jumps off of high spaces and just the shockwave kills all the enemies around you, just little touches like that were beautiful. And also with the level designs, it came with different switching up of the gameplay style. There's two different gameplays we get. We get giant mech battles and we get the dragon battles. And I saw a lot of people online complaining about those, and I don't know why, because we didn't really spend a lot of time doing either one, right? It actually felt kind of a nice pace. It didn't like break the game. It didn't take you out of the game, because the dragon riding stuff doesn't really last that long. And then you're jumping off him to go into an area, destroy that, then he comes and gets you. And I think that was a really great way to kind of break up the game. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a fan of like Panzer Dragoon, and like that's why the dragon stuff really took with me. But I don't really feel that like it was a bad thing at that point. I really do feel that they did a great job with that. And even the mech battles, there weren't too many of them. They were pretty sporadic throughout the game, so they didn't really feel old. You guys are watching. I don't know how you guys felt about those levels and stuff like that, but I really did feel that while we were streaming this game and everything, it was a fun experience. If there's things that I think that are bad about the game, I'll start off by saying this. The music is not bad, but it's not great. There's some tunes in here that are friggin' kicking. I love some of the tunes that I heard during this when battle started or you entered an area. They did a really good job with that stuff, right? So, I really enjoyed my time with that music. But yeah, it's not Mick Gordon. But you know what? Matching Mick Gordon is almost impossible. Like, that guy is a legend. I mean, his music is just insane. I mean, he has such range. I mean, best example I can give, if you look at Killer Instinct and you look at TJ Combo's theme, which he composed with Omega Sparks, and then you look at Cinder's theme that he does with Little V, that stuff's insane. Like, to me, like, because that's range. Guy's doing, hip hop, and then he's doing, hardcore metal. It's insane. But so yeah, you're not going to capture the magic of Mick Gordon without bringing him back. I don't remember why he wasn't brought back or anything like that. I can't remember exactly. But ultimately, the people they had doing the music in this game, it's metal and it works. I think like one of the last things I want to talk about is actually the kind of the map. Now, while the world you explore is beautiful, right? Like the Doom: The Dark Ages is absolutely stunning to me. I didn't like the map being so vast. And to me, I was just like, I don't want to run like to the other end of like 2 football fields, the length of 2 football fields, and then run back just to get an item. And I wasn't really a fan of the map system. I think it was pretty bad in that aspect. I wasn't really a fan of that. And I think that in the future, they need to keep Doom more condensed. Because I think that's where Doom really does work the best, is when it's condensed. And yeah, for me, I did not like that. I didn't like it. And I'll say, I think there was one too many battles with those enemies where you have to destroy all their troops to break morale and break that shield around the main guy. I think those were overdone. I think those could have been cut down by at least like 3 or 4. Maybe put some new enemies into the game. But I will say that the enemies were plentiful. There was a lot of them. There was a lot of great enemies throughout the game. A lot of classic ones, a lot of new ones and stuff. So, when it came to the creature department and the combat for that, they did really good. I really enjoyed that. I think they did fantastic. But I think overall, like, a lot of these people that are making these videos talking about how bad Doom: The Dark Ages is, and that it's a bad game, it's a shitty game, I think they're wrong. I think they're just doing these clickbait videos and clickbait titles on their videos just to get people to come watch the videos and cause up things. Because, like, there was one person who says, Doom: The Dark Ages is a disappointment. And I'm like, how? Because it's not like Doom Eternal. People have to understand something of the reason why Doom Eternal was so successful and why it's beloved by so many people is because when Doom Eternal came out, when did Doom Eternal come out? Think about that. During a certain event where we were all locked in our houses and couldn't go outside, that's when Doom Eternal came out. Much like the Animal Crossing game as well. And I think even things like wasn't it like Among Us or something like that too? I think that was out during that time. And those games flourished because nobody could go anywhere. Nobody could go to their jobs. Nobody could go see their families. Nothing like that. So that's why that game is so highly regarded. And people don't see that Doom: The Dark Ages is a good game at the end of the day. And you know what? That's what I want to say right here. This is how we can end this little rapid fire off the cuff review here. Doom the Dark Ages does exactly what you want in a Doom game. It's fun. It's great. You got the metal. You got the guns. You got the gore. You got the bloodshed. You've got the action. You just got non-stop action going through. So that's why it's such a good game, is because it does what Doom is supposed to do with just the little things here that people might not enjoy, but it doesn't destroy the game or anything. And for everybody that doesn't want to play it, download it if you've got Game Pass. It's free. Just play it. Spend some time with it and stop listening to people who are just making videos about clickbait. I mean, this game, yeah, it has its flaws. Like, it is a little bit vast at times, and it's, it doesn't have the music that people want, but it's still a good game. And I can tell you right now, this is a game that you play on repeat, right? You play on the harder settings and shit like that for the bigger challenges, even though regular mode was a challenge for me in this. Doom the Dark Ages really does that well, and, when it comes to that challenge of the medium level, and I'm sure the higher levels are absolutely phenomenal in this, and the collecting stuff, yeah, it's tedious, but if that's your thing, this game has it. I just think that that's where the game breaks a little bit, where you got to stop killing demons and solve puzzles in a way, shape, or form, in a vast way, not in a smaller, more condensed way. But ultimately, if you've come across this and you've not played Doom the Dark Ages yet because you're on the fence about it, definitely buy it. If you like the previous games that are Doom related, like, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, this is a Doom game that you're going to want to play because it's fun, okay? This is a game that I personally think that people will enjoy, and it's really not doing that well right now, and it's sad because a lot of these people that are spreading, honestly, it almost feels like false information. So just go play the game. Just go get Game Pass for your PC if you don't have an Xbox. Just do it through there and give it a try, and I guarantee you, if you like the other ones, you're really going to like this. Hey guys, thanks for watching. As always, when you comment on one of my videos, it helps out big time, and also helps by giving a thumbs up and making that video and the channel be seen itself, and it also makes me know what you guys want to see here on the channel. Make sure to follow me on all my socials to keep up on my newest videos. The links are all down below in the description. Appreciate it, guys. Until the next time, be safe and have a good one.